Ah, Emily, Laser Princess, Pink Raccoon, sip of wine. Some kind of show at the Moda Center across the way. This is off. There we go. My picture of all the people who care about me. And my little, this thing. I don't even know what this is supposed to be, honestly. Okay. Season 4, Episode 18, Where the Wild Things Are. This was a rough one. If I was an old balding beardo, I can't see wanting to exist forever as a vampire. Sorry, I know that might be considered being mean to old balding men who wear big fluffy beards, but yeah, just not the way I would want to spend eternity. Is Riley back on roids? Oh no, Riley is back on roids, isn't he? I think he might be at this point. I don't know. The timeline of Riley's use of bargain basement super soldier juice is difficult to parse. Oh, this episode. That was when I realized exactly what was going on and what I had stumbled into in the rewatch. Oh yeah, this is another one I just don't like. It's basically 40 minutes of heteronormative PG-13 pawn. Something poltergeist. Yeah. Guess they needed to give the Scoobies a chance to do something sometimes. Yeah. You got to take Buffy out of the equation sometimes to give everyone else a chance. But ugh, God, they could have done something else. Still very tedious. Having that thought at around 5 minutes. We'll notate again if anything interesting happens. Spoiler, it won't. So yeah, that was me 5 minutes into this episode. And I basically just sat there going, ugh, 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 for like a few minutes. And then at 7 minutes, 22 seconds, Xander and Anya traumatizing the children with big sex. Zero misinformation. That is what happens in the episode. Xander and Anya get into a fight about having sex, and Xander starts ripping his clothes off while he's working as an ice cream man in an ice cream truck, and there is a crowd of children watching the whole thing. I'm not making this up. This is what happens in the episode. And then nothing again until 16 minutes, 2 seconds. And I said, still nothing, just checking in. Yeah, that's how tedious this episode was to watch. And at this point, to watch for like the third or fourth time while doing this. Not a good episode. Is the orgasm wall interesting? It would be in real life, but not in a show that's supposed to be about a demon hunter girl. Not interesting, but would anyone ever use a bathtub in a frat house common bathroom? I don't remember ever going to a frat party in a frat house where there was a common bathroom with a bathtub in it. Yeah, I don't know. Abusive religious nut job running an orphanage. Nah, that would never happen. Yeesh. Growing up in a situation worse than the one I did, so I feel bad for these kids. Yeah, yeah. One of the few um, groups of people that, at least in America, grew up in a worse situation than I did. Not necessarily in terms of money wise, but uh, yeah. As much as certain members of my family did horrible things to me, they didn't try and drown me in a bathtub, or, well, they did force me to cut my hair. Whatever. Okay. Poltergasm is a funny word, and I'm going to start using it more often. If I could save the world from hearing Giles talk about sex in any way, I would do it. Zero misinformation. So bored and queasy. Also, what's with the plants? Are they ever effective for this purpose? Retraction, due to that vine wrecking Anya's hand. Yeesh. Yeah, for a second there, I guess I kind of forgot how effective poison ivy can be. Opening the door was all it took. For an episode exclusively about sex, it's absolutely anticlimactic. And yeah, I knew this was going to be a short one. It's a terrible episode. It is. It's network television. It's not Game of Thrones. So you have an episode that is almost entirely about sex. It just doesn't work. It doesn't. Even if it were Willow and Tara, it wouldn't work. Because, it's network television. You can't show anything. Yeah, whatever.